Hello, everyone, and welcome to a slightly different diver words. Okay, so here's what happened. So here's what it is. Recent reviews, for those of you who don't know, it's a post. Even though I've done one episode and another one that's 4 months late, it's supposed to be just a quick offhand, like me talking vloggy type thing, where I'm just like, "Oh, this was awesome! This was awesome! This was awesome!" type thing. So obviously I was going to do one for Uncharted, which I just beat. Um, and then I was thinking about it, and it was like, uh, in terms of gameplay, the only real new additions is the grappling hook, which is amazing. It's fun. It's just so great to jump off a cliff and then fall onto an enemy and like swing around corners, all that great awesome stuff. That's awesome. The stealth is much improved. They actually have little like icons on their heads now, and um, so the stealth's totally improved. And sliding, I didn't know sliding could become a gameplay addition, but it is. So when I was thinking about it, I was like, that would be pretty much it because recent reviews isn't spoilers. Because it should be say, hey, I played like the one I played Dying Light the following. That was awesome. If you don't like Dying Light, don't play it. If you like zombie games, play it. That's it. And yeah, so the Uncharted would literally be 2 minutes. Don't like Uncharted? Don't play this game. Love Uncharted? It's a great, awesome send off. But yeah, so that's why we're gonna be doing this one slightly different. Because obviously story is a big part of Uncharted, and I'm not really. So this is gonna be a one-time thing, but we're gonna do a very, however long it takes, spoiler cast type thing. Do a bob, because obviously the story is the biggest part of Uncharted. As much as I can say, like, oh yeah, the stealth is much better, and the grappling hook is awesome, and you get this little hook thing, which is totally pointless. Like the grappling hook, it makes you feel like you have so much more freedom. You can explore new areas. You can swing, and you can like raise and lower. And you can like go around these crazy places. The hook's just like, first off, you can only hook it into the wall once. So basically, whenever you hook, so wherever the center of that thing is, you'll be close enough that you can reach another wall portion. And like it was pointless. It was just like, well, we didn't want to do like yet another platform here, so here's a tiny 30 seconds challenge for you to every time really you'd slide down or you would like grab you grab you slide down, grab the latch at the last second while you're falling, stuff like that. But it wasn't like, wow, this was what we've been waiting for. This was like, yeah, okay, cool, this is neat. But yeah, so the gameplay of, and again, the gameplay of Uncharted has never been the big why we play this game. It's for the story. That's not why I did an embarrassingly bad and horrific, and please do not go watch, or else I will cry myself to sleep, like half an hour video on why I was disappointed with Uncharted 3. But yeah, so with that very long intro out of the way, spoilers ahead if that wasn't 100% clear. That's it for the gameplay. It's the best playing of all of the four. I've not played World of Abyss. I'm going to assume it's probably better than that. But it's the best playing, best combat, best shooting. Everything's just... There's nothing that's like, wow, mind-blowing. But everything's polished and tightened. And, the combat, the fistfights feel tighter. The combat feel tighter. Like, it's a lot harder to get headshots in this one. You got to really work for it. So, but let's start with the elephant in the room. Yeah, let's just we'll go with this because it's a spoiler cast. Because by the time you're not gonna watch me first, you're gonna have watched the Iggins in the game's readers and the Kotaks and all the other people. So let's just start with the ending. I would be lying if I said I did not cry. But as I had like a out of body experiment where, because I started crying, I'm like, am I a little bitch? Like, am I just, why am I crying because of this? And then I was thinking, I was like, part of the reason I cried was because it was like, when you get onto the dock with Sam and you're like kind of, you know, you're on the plane, you're like, oh, cool, we got out, everything's done. And you're like, oh. And there you're like, oh, shit, this is the last, like, Nathan Drake game. It's like, oh, crap, that's right. Like, this, they're going to wrap this up now. I totally forgot about that. And then that keeps going, and then you're like, then you go with Drake and Elena buying the dive place, the marina or whatever the hell it is. And you're like, oh, this is the ending. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. And then it fades to black, and then it comes back with spoilers, if I didn't spoil that, but their daughter, and you're like, oh, yes, this is actually the end. Like, we can't go, like, and then I was counting the seconds where it's like, these are, like, the last seconds of Uncharted. Like, again, at least with Nathan Drake, we'll go into the future later, but it was just like, this is it. Like, we're at the end, people. I'm like, oh shit. Like, wow. And then it's when I started taking it in. I was like, and as an Uncharted fan who, again, not playing Gold Abyss or Fight for Fortune, playing the main 3 Uncharted games, and like, this game came out with the PS3. This was with the launch of the PS3. The PS3 was the first console I bought by myself. I paid for it 100%. My parents didn't pay nothing. Uncharted has been a big part of my life. You know, my top 10 PS3 games, I named it the #1 console exclusive. I think I gave it number 2. Yeah, number 2. So, like, it has a... When I played All-Stars Battle Royale, I played as Drake. I got good with Drake just because of my love for the Uncharted series. So, coming here at the end, for me, it was so emotional, because I'm like, I've been there. Like, I've gone on so many journeys with this character. I've seen everything he has. I've done all this and that. And for me, it was very like, wow, that was satisfying. That's, you know, no one died, which is disappointing, but I was like, I enjoy this. But then I started thinking about, why am I enjoying this? And it's because I've had that long connection to Uncharted. And I was just thinking, like, how would someone who's never played an Uncharted game before react to this? And they were just thinking, it's like, oh, okay, cute, that's nice. So yeah, that's why I'm like, and I just listened to some, you know, just very briefly, the kind of funny spoiler cast, just because obviously I had to hear what they said. And yeah, they do bring the good point of, like, what do you expect the Uncharted ending to be? It's not going to be Drake and Elena getting divorced, or Drake dying, or it's like this very dour note, or Drake dying. Like, even though there was that split second at the end where you're like swimming towards the tunnel after it, like, it's all caving in and everything, and then you swim into the light, and you're like, that's it. That's how he dies. And it's just like, and then I was thinking about it, it's like, well, that's kind of cheap. That's a little. It's like he just died by a rock crushing him. Like, all the times he could have died, and that's how he dies. But yeah, so I don't know what I wanted in an Uncharted ending, but for what we got, it was, you know, because there's you can go around and inspect a house and see all the stuff Nate and Elena did. They didn't just kind of settle down, in a sense. They kept going. They kept having new adventures. And Sully and Sam, yeah, Sully and Sam had adventures, and like even their daughter came on adventures with them. Um, so it was satisfying, and I'm just being greedy. I 100% admit that I'm just being greedy. I'm just saying like I want it. Well, what it was is the big thing for me was the death. Again, they always said this was Nathan Drake's last game. The game's called A Thieves End, and probably when Elena joins you on the island after you like fall off the cliff, and Elena like saves you. Um, the entire time I got this feeling of like, oh, oh shit, why is she on the island? Oh, it's so they can kill her. That's why she's here. And then they start talking about their relationship, and there's I believe, a one section where you're crossing the water, and there's like no enemies or whatever. It's just music, and you're just like driving around. It's like maybe a 2-3 minute song, and there's no combat, there's no puzzles or anything. It's basically just a straight shot as you're driving along. And I was like, oh, that's how they're gonna do it. They're gonna get you connected to Elena for the people who maybe you haven't played the other one. Get you connected to her, and then when she dies, it's gonna be all that emotional. But it didn't happen. I'm like, okay, well. Oh, and then Sully joins, and you're like, okay, that's how they're doing it. Sully's back. We've done a couple missions with Sully. We've got a feel for his character. We understand he's a father figure to me. That's how they're gonna kill Sully. And then it's like, no, he and Elena just get separated. And I'm like, oh man, well, Sam's gonna die, obviously, because he's a new character. Who gives a crap if Sam dies? And there's that brief second where he's pinned under the beam, and he's like, go on without me. Don't wait for me or whatever. And then Nate, in a day, like not a day of sex, but it's like it was some pretty quick thinking there. He like aims the cannon at the ground, and for a split second, the water like raised above Sam's head. I'm like, oh, that's how it does it. They can't lift it up, and Sam drowns, and then Drake's brilliant. But the point is, nobody died. There was no emotional death or whatever. So going into that epilogue, I was like, oh, I feel like I was owed a death here, people. It's called the end of the series, and it was just like, huh. But yeah. So for the ending, like, I'm torn because I enjoyed it. I legit cried. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie like, oh, it was overrated. It was not good. I did not like it. I totally enjoyed it. I was satisfying. I got all teary. When you played when you cut from Drake and Elena on the pier, and it fades to black, and then it fades back, and you're playing Crash again, and you're like, oh yeah, so like, okay, cool. There's some little end credit thing going on. And then I noticed like the surfboard or the boogie board in the background. I'm like, wait a minute, they didn't have the boogie board. I'm like, oh my god, this is their kid. And I did not see the reveal of it being a daughter though. Maybe that's just because they're trying to be gender inclusive. I really don't know. I don't care. Whatever. She looked like she was interested enough. But yeah. So the ending was this. The rest of the game, though, like I said, I tweeted out the second I beat it. I'm like, this is the best gameplay, the best action, the best set pieces out of them all. Not ready to commit about if it's the best Uncharted because, yeah, I'm a fanboy or whatever. Obviously, my favorite is 2. Sorry, I'm OCD and I'm distracted by screws. When I was thinking back and it's like, man, that was a good adventure. I was thinking, like, is it the best one? Because the gameplay feels the best. It controls the best and all that. So I was like, okay, well, I was thinking, well, what really happened in the story? So, excluding the parts where you learn about Drake's backstory, which we will get into a little bit because that actually was one of my biggest complaints with the third game. Basically what happened was they get the basically there's the prison scene. Jump forward. Um, what was it? Sam comes back. They go to get the cross, uh, and then what is it? The cross takes them to Ireland. Ireland goes to Africa. Africa goes to Kings Bay, and then Kings Bay goes to the island itself. So you're just hopping from place to place, like finding clues, finding clues, finding clues. And yeah, they make jokes like, "Oh man, how much Easter or how many wild goose chases are we going on?" Um, but I didn't like. It didn't just that. It just was like I enjoyed the moments to moments. I enjoyed when they were in Ireland. I enjoyed when seeing because that was a very different for a like treasure hunting globe hopping series. You're typically dealing with the jungles or ruins or caves or temples, all that stuff. So it was kind of neat to just go to Ireland, which is just not more modern, but it felt different. It was like a temperate forest type feel, and it was very different to what we've been used to in Uncharted, which is like snow and desert and jungle and all these other locations. Um, but yeah, so like just the actual again, all of those scenes, all of those segments within their own, the heist type thing of trying to sneak into the auction place and trying to steal the cross back. Great, I loved it. It's the introduction of Victor Goddamn Sullivan, which I don't know if he says in this game, which is gonna be a gem. Again, this is like firsthand. I've just beaten it maybe like 10 minutes ago. Opinions. So I maybe I'll go back and like half the stuff I'm saying now is gonna be just me. My gibberish is gonna go. Oh, probably should have waited. But yeah, so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the tower scene with the bell tower in Kings Bay. I love the. I don't remember the or what was it? And also in the tower, the little flip puzzle which you have to examine the pieces. By the way, can someone answer me in the comments or wherever? There's that one pirate that is like his name is burnt out. Is that guy Brush 3 foot or whatever the hell the pirate from Monkey Island is? Because he was like, you got the same clothes and you kind of like blonde hair, and I know there's a monkey symbol. I don't remember. It wasn't until like after I beat the puzzle, I was like, oh shit, I should see what that monkey symbol. Which one is the monkey? It's like, oh crap. All right, well, whatever. But yeah, so all of those moments were fine, and then like the crashing onto the island, and then you exploring the island. Oh, that last bit is long. It just feels like a lot of climbing, a lot of exploring, a lot of jumping, a lot. You get into enough gunfights to break it up, and it's just like, man, I feel like all I did was just climb up and down and all over that island. It's like, oh my god. But yeah, like, and I enjoyed the reveal of Libertalia or whatever it was. And actually, because whatever. It's Uncharted. It's a secret lost city. But I enjoyed you got to learn the history of Libertalia as you explored it. You learn about the pirates and their rules. I only found one, but I'm sure there's more. There's obviously for your journal thing, but there's all those rules of Libertalia were just off the first one. I think was like don't. I think it's like you can't abandon Libertalia in times of war, or we'll find you and you'll kill you. I just from that one, I got okay. These are pirates. These are clearly pirates rules. But yeah, just the moments were great. But overall, I just like when I think back to 2, which in the moment is my favorite. Maybe when I beat 4 like a couple more times when I go for the trophies and the hard mode and all that stuff, I'll look back and I'll go, you know what? It's actually a good story. It's much better. But right now, like with my favorite with 2, it starts out with it's Drake and Chloe and Bordio, and then it goes to the city, and then it goes. Or no. It starts with the the museum heist, and then into Mario, and then into the city, and then from the city you go on the train, and then from the train you go to the temple, and then from the temple you go to the caves. Then from those caves you go to the monastery, and then from the monastery you go to Shambhala. Like there's these here. Like again, I don't remember the. I'm pretty You go in Uncharted 4. You go. I don't remember how the game starts. Like obviously there's the boat chase thing, but or the game starts with you playing as young Drake, and then I guess you would grow up to adult Drake. That sounds about right. And you go from adult Drake to Sam being there, and then from Sam to the museum heist. But see, even there, it's just like, okay. I just feel like you're jumping from place to place. I don't feel the natural connection. Because 3 was bad for that, but I think 3 was just like, they established, the reason 3 worked was that they were like, alright, we've got 2 places here. Drake, you go here. Sully, you go here. You do Drake's segment, and then they're like, oh, they're in trouble. We should go to help them. So it doesn't really feel like backtracking because they're like, oh, well, okay, they're in trouble. We now have a reason to go there. And Uncharted 4, you're just hopping from place to place to place to place. Again, none of it's bad. It's just like, it could be handled better. And speaking of handled better, where the hell is Chloe? Like I was saying before, the thing that makes this so cute is, we're got to the point now where we have all these little references. So I think there's the one scene where Sam's trying to recruit Drake, and he's like, oh, I'll give you my number of Charlie Cutter. Charlie Cutter got mentioned! I don't even think Chloe got mentioned at all. Maybe in some text or phone or whatever, or message. But I did not hear a single, again, I haven't done any of the optional conversations or all that. But it's like, seriously, like, Chloe, she was in 2 and 3, she was probably arguably some people's favorite character, and you're not even just going to give her a passing mention? Like, yeah, she's not that important to Drake's character, but it's still, like, she's been in over half of the games. You should probably give her some acknowledgement. And I'm sure if I go check the multiplayer, which I, again, have not, because single player, I'm sure she's probably there too. So it's just like, it's weird that she's, not at all mentioned in this game. But yeah, just so ending good, story okay. Like there was nothing like in 3 where it's like, how does that topic disappear? And what the hell's going on in this? And what Marlo's doing this? And what's going on? And is he hallucinating? 3, I had so many dumb questions. This one was like, no, it all panned out. I saw Sam's betrayal coming a mile ahead, but not necessarily in that way. From like the beginning, I was always like, I guess like, okay, well we can talk about Sam, but his character was like, I knew he was going to betray Drake at some time. It was just like where and when. But yeah, like that was my biggest problem. Was obviously we will never know what the original Amy Hennig Uncharted 4 was gonna be. But that original trailer, with just the voiceover on the map, was like, you left me to rot in a jail for 15 years, and now I'm going to get my revenge. And in this one, Sam's just like, shit happens, bro. Whatever. Yeah. What you gonna do? I'm like, I was expecting Sam to be more pissed off, and he was just like, yeah, cool, whatever, dude. I mean, you left me in the Panamanian jail for 15 years. Whatever. You're happily married. You're playing Crash Bandicoot now. I can't complain. Well, I would have done the same. It's just like, Sam is not bad. He's just not well done. And what I mean by that is like you grow to like Sam, though he's kind of a dumbass, but like you get that ending of you kind of feel where Drake was in Uncharted 3. Like again, because we're the player and we're associated with Drake, we were just like, we got to start Marlo. She's a freaking bitch. She's gonna be evil. But now that we can be an outside viewer and view Sam in this light, it's like probably, oh, that's probably how we were in 3. That's how crazy and psychotic and obsessed we were. We should probably stop this behavior right now. Um, but so his character's fine. I don't like how chummy he is with Drake. You think like again he's been in jail for 15 years. It's like, hey, what's up, little brother? It's like, you are super cheery for someone who you have not talked to in over like 15 years. You're just like, yeah, whatever. But there's also the fact that Sam's kind of, I'm trying to think how to describe, but basically, I understand it's the last game, and I can, but it's just like, where the hell did Sam come from? Like, obviously, we got the explanation of why Drake had his last name changed, but it wasn't just like, oh, I thought my brother was dead, so no biggie. It just didn't feel like right for him justifying why he didn't talk at all about his brother, who apparently was a big part of his life. But yeah, so his brother's great, but I just, I thought, I kind of expected more for him. His character is just very, it's almost like a copy of Drake, and it was just like, I think, again, that's what people's assumptions are, that maybe the next one will be with Sam. Because it's just like, oh, okay, look, he can do everything Drake does. He can do this and that. He's just as quippy, just as silly. Maybe even more mature, more headstrong. So, there's that. He's got growth and all that, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it's just, that ending. But yeah, just, I don't know, I'm getting a little rambly at now, so I'll probably end it. But I guess the overall big thing I just wanted to stress is, even though I'm in this weird place where I'm like, I appreciate it on a technical level. It is well made. It's gorgeous. It's the best game I've seen in my life. Period. No, not console, not PS4. Period. Best looking game I've seen in my life. It is jaw dropping. The set pieces are big. It's engaging. It's exciting. The story is good. It's not like bad. It's not like there were like, even still, one is just like very like, when I think about it now as a series as a whole, I'm just like, even now I'm like, yeah, you should probably just skip one. Just don't bother with one. I mean, I love one. One's, there's a lot of parallels with this one in one, with the car, the 4x4 almost feels like the pseudo jetpack in a sense, where it's just like you can explore these big areas and whatnot, but you're still basically going down a linear path. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed that, and then it's a great send off to Drake and to Elena and all of those characters. It's an engaging story. I think you could play it if you haven't played any other Uncharted, but again, we're coming to the end of a spoiler cast, so I hope you didn't want to play it before, because whoop, I kind of spoiled that. But yeah, so it's great. I just think, even in my mind, again, I don't do score type things typically, but like in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, it's not a 10. All right, maybe an 8. I don't know. 8's too low. Okay, we'll go for a 9. 9's like, it's both too much and too little. So I think it's great. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to going back. But yeah, it's just, there's definitely like Drake said, Lau, like, it's not necessarily about, we're never gonna get this feeling again, and I did feel that as I was wrapping up. I'm like, just this like kind of, it's done, or Uncharted is done for now. Um, we we've had this journey. We've gone on this thing together. Um, but yeah, like man, that was something else. That was pretty amazing, and it is a great way to send off Uncharted. Do I wish it was a better send off? Of course. Do I want more? Like, did I want this bigger boom, like explosion, like firework? Like, yeah, like stuff like that. Did I want to be screaming in my chair, like, yes, yes? Of course, but it's still a great, awesome ending, and I can't fault it for that. So, like, overall, Naughty Dog did an amazing job. They're still hands down the best developer in the world, besides Rockstar. I can't decide between the two, but they're still like just so amazing, so perfect. Um, it's so mind blowing just to think back of all the adventures. Like, yeah, that was a good time. And now I guess we gotta go off into the sunset. Except for maybe that story DLC. That will be like our last, like, one more hit, and then we've got the multiplayer, which is all free. So we can kind of like, need this fix going as long as we can. But yeah, I thought it was a great, amazing, engaging game, and yeah. So hopefully you guys don't mind my very ranty, very out of order talk about why I thought it was great. Just, again, a solid great. Again, and we're talking in terms of Uncharted. In terms of actual other games, it's like a fantastic, amazing, it's my moment, it's perfect. Just in terms of the other Uncharted, it's like good. Like two in my mind right now, with no just off the seat, two still the best. But then I'm like, is three? I nitpick three a lot, but three had like engaging character. Like Marlo was a better bad guy, and Talbot was a better henchman. Here, he's got some rich, pretty boy, and then some black army general, which is just like Lazarovich, but a girl. So it's just like, okay, well, then I don't really. They're fine, but they're not like anything mind blowing. But yeah, so the point is, it's great, it's awesome, I love it. I'm happy to see Uncharted go off into the sunset, and I can't wait to see what Naughty Dog does next. Hopefully, with these Easter eggs, means Crash in 2016, Crash in 2016, Crash in 2016, or maybe Jack 4.